Hello, everybody. It is another Friday Chat Gauntlet with the Going Optimal Discord people. I have been subbed in at short notice, so I wasn't ready for this, and I'm probably going to make a real faff of it, but what the hey. Zendikar Rising, I've done a few drafts of it, so we'll see how it goes. We've got 2 minutes to pick, so that's helpful. Um, so we've got a spell land. Spell lands are always good. This one is a nice one because if you get it late, you can pay 6 and ping them nicely. The question is the white rare better? 3 for a 2/3 flyer. Can't cast more than one spell a turn. Non-basics ETB tapped. Most of them do anyway because most of the non-basics double spell lands. So is the 2/3 flyer better than a double-faced black card? There is a lot of white in this pack. There's not so much black. What do we want to be in? White's pretty good in this set. So's black. It's much of a muchness. Flying is something we want a lot of in this pack, which makes the Archon, I don't know how you pronounce it. That thing, a little bit better. So I might take the rare here, and there's nothing wrong with taking the rare at this point. The spell land's useful. The white spell lands I think I really like. You know, things like Kabira Takedown and Sajiri Shelter do a lot of work throughout the game, so that's nice. So I think I'll take the white rare and be happy with it. Media's on my left, so it's not like the spell land's going to make it to Ryan anyway. People have had a lot of success with Prowling Felidar as well, so that, let's give white a go, shall we? And take the Archon. Archon sounds better. It may not have been the right pick, but evasion is evasive in this set. There seems to be not as much flyer hating as you could get, so let's take it. So Nimble Trap Finder likes other party members showing up. Party's white-blue. If you have a full party, all creatures gain combat damage, draw a card. That's nice. Otherwise, we've got removal. Cinderclasm, Rebuke, Barrage, Snare. The Archon will work best against red that likes double spelling because of the Electromancer. For me, it's between Trapfinder and Bubble Snare. But White-Red Warriors with Thundering Rebuke, also a good shout. But 2-drop bodies are nice, the blue-rare's nice, white-blue's a party mechanic. Let's take the rare, let's go rare hunting for now. And see how and where we get on. So let's take the Trapfinder for now. Not sure that's best, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, so here we've got one of these glorious white double lands. It's also a nice finisher. So I think we take that. Tazim Raptor's the best white common in the pack. In the game, sorry. Tazim Raptor's just brilliant for picking up cards. But we need cards to pick up before the Raptor really is high. It's a flyer as well, which is nice. But I think we take Makindi Stampede here. Ruin Crab goes best in black-blue robes and can be a complete nightmare. So we'll take Makindi Stampede. We don't expect Tazim Rap to come back. But we want spell lands. And, we like white, so let's take it. Again, media won't let Tazim Raptor go past, so Ryan's not getting it anyway. So, spell land. Sounds good. Okay, so Jerboa I like. Jerboa is a nice little landfall thing, pumps all the creatures. So with Stampede and Jerboa, we've got a go wide thing going on. Lol Mage is nice though. Lol Mage also nice. Fits best in the Rogue's deck because then you're milling your opponent. So I think it's between those two. Farsight Adept is not a great white common. You'll take it, especially if you're not in blue, because it's the only white wizard. But if we're white-blue, we're going to get wizards anyway, so Adept really goes down in value there. So it's between Jerboa and Domination. I'm not sure where I fall on this, but I think I take Jerboa. I know it doesn't have types, so we've got the human rogue that likes a party, and then we've got an Archon, Archon, and a mouse, which is a bit annoying. But it's got to be between Domination and Jerboa, and I want to stick with white being my primary colour with Archon, Archon, Stampede, Jerboa, Spell Land. So I think we take the Jerboa here. Oh, and we're straight into another pick, and we've got a Tazim Raptor, which is nice. So we'll take the Tazim Raptor here over the Seer and the Field Research and the Outrider. Bit of black removal coming through, but I think the Raptor's really nice here, and we want to get some more double lands, but playing Stampede early as a land and picking it up for our go wide payoff, even if it's not a surprise, because it's a sorcery, it can't be a surprise anyway. Well, it can't be as much of a surprise as an instant, but yeah. So I think we take the Raptor, and we're happy with that. We're filling our wee creature slot here, and we also have the advantage of still being able to pivot into white-black, red-white, green-white. Green-white landfall, of course, with Jerboa and Raptor, and the spell land is nice too. Trapfinder's not binding us to white-blue, especially as we don't have any other party stuff going on at the moment. But Raptor's nice. I dig it. Stop. Attended Healer is great if you can find a way of gaining life, right? Gain life, make a token. It's only the first time each turn. So the question is Attended Healer in our deck better or worse than Raptor? Which I think is the best common. Although Shepherd of Heroes also very strong. A lot of strong white cards here. A lot of strong white cards. Shepherd likes Party, which keeps us in the blue-white environ for sure. Raptor just loves picking up lands. Healer is not a shabby card too. Choices, choices, choices. I think, and I might be wrong, but I will take another Raptor. Apparition is a bit of a frustrating card because you can exile a card, but then Apparition just sits there and they don't have to remove Apparition. That said, I think it's better than Dauntless Unity here. We're very much not in types at the moment, so we're not partying, apart from that dang Trap Finder. But I think I take Apparition over Dauntless Unity here. For now. Again, might be wrong, but I'm building up a lot of creatures in my 3 slot, which is always a good place to have them. 2s and 3s. And we've got a piece of removal in principle, just not a very good one. What we want is Kabira takedowns. We want Journeys to Oblivion, which again, like parties, so we should try and get some party stuff going on. But it looks like we're being pushed white. So here what we've got is 2 choices. We can have Cliffhaven Kite Sail, but we already have a bunch of flyers, or we can take Smite the Monstrous and hope we get a target. We'll take this. We might not run it. What are the alternatives? We could go white-reds. That works best in counters. We could take a turn Timber Ascetic and see if we pivot into white-green landfall. Not unreasonable. Not unreasonable. Unsure. Smite the Monstrous just might not have a target, which is frustrating. Let's take Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Not sure it's right, but we'll do it. Here, we'll definitely take Allied Assault, although it does ask for party stuff, so we need to start prioritizing that. But we will still take it. We'll over negate or deliberate. Yes. Might be wrong, but we'll do that. Might even get a chance to go mono white at this rate if they pass it right. But assault might just end up in the sideboard. So here, because we've got go wide payoffs building up, we take the Seagate Banner over the Sellsword, because it can't be pinged for 1 and it can pump all our creatures. So that's a fairly easy pick. It's our first warrior to go with our rogue, so we'll start trying to collect up some party people. To quote Alex Gofa. And let's see where we head. But it looks like the white lane's looking good coming packs 1 and 3. So we can rely on that. We reluctantly take practice tactics here, but we hope not to run it. It's way better than Outflank was in Eldraine. There is a chance for them to remove one of your party members to then reduce the amount of damage, so it just becomes bleh. We'll take our Allied Assault for the same reason. We don't want to be high on party stuff until we know we have party stuff. But looks like blue was dead coming from that side, so let's see what the best pick is around here. Black, white, maybe? Yeah, we've seen a lot more black than we have green. We've seen some green too. We'll take Dreadworm over Scale the Heights, but again, not necessarily happy with taking it. I think we just have to assume white's our primary colour, and we'll see what opens up in pack 2. We take the Outrider, and we're glad that's wheeled. 2 warriors now. And a blood price. If we do play Dreadworm and end up white-black, that's not shabby. Allied Assault starting to look like it could do stuff. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got Glasspool Mimic, which is a spell land. It's in the colour we kind of had. We know we're not likely to get past a lot of it, though. We might be, because it was cut from us. So, okay, so Glasspool Mimic is good. The Gloom Hunter is nice if we think we're going to end up white-black. There's not a lot of black in this pack, though. My sense is we take the Glasspool Mimic. It's a powerful card. It's also a spell land. And we'll see if blue's open coming around this way. There's no white we want to pick. So I think it's between the Mimic and the Gloom Hunter. The Gloom Hunter, really, you want to kick. So it becomes a 6-mana, 3/3 flying lifelink. This thing is a 3-mana, copy a creature, which could be huge in the late game and is useful anyway. And we've got 2 Raptors that pick it up too. So let's take the blue rare. We've got our first Journey to Oblivion, which is grand. We're not in Black-White Cleric, so Tabor X doesn't do a lot of work. So I think we take the Journey to Oblivion here, and we're happy with that, for sure. No other white, no other black we like the look of. Nothing pulling us into green. So Journey to Oblivion here is lovely. Now, that also wants party payoffs, and we've got 2 rogues and 2 warriors, and we're likely to get some clerics in white. I'm going to put Allied Assault back in. I'll put practice tactics in and grit my teeth, but I will be looking for things like Kabira takedowns, more Journey to Oblivion, and other things like that before we run practice tactics. Ideally. We want to get some dorky 2-drop white clerics in our slot. That's the big gap at the moment. Sure-footed infiltrator's quite nice. We've got a couple of rogues. We think we're going to be in blue, so is it better or worse than the Angel Heart Protector? We've got not a ton of stuff that it's going to come in that we want to protect. So I think we take the Infiltrator here, because we can use Trap Finder to tap to make it unblockable, and then we get the draw. The upshot of the Protector is it's a Cleric, and we don't have many of those yet. But I think Infiltrator does a little bit more if we can drop it. The question is, are we going to get cut out of blue still? Let's be risk averse and take the Cleric on 3. That might be wrong. But here we have no blue we're excited about. And we actually have a white-green, sorry, that might do stuff. We could either take the Banneret or the Root Grazer. Take the Root Grazer and hope to splash it. It's a gamble, but it's a fun one. So let's take the Root Grazer and see if we can make it happen. We don't have a lot of landfall payoffs, but it's good for what it is. A 2-3 for 2 is grand if you can get the land out. And obviously, it gets some ramp going. I think it's empirically better than another Banneret. Okay, so here we could take the Cleric or another Trap Finder. Disenchant we're not really fussed about. Anti-Cognition's best in the Rogue's deck. Let's take another Trap Finder. And we have to start looking for some wizards, which we can find in blue. We want some dorky white clerics in the 2-drop slot, and we want some blue wizards in the 3s and 4s. That's nice. And then if we get lucky and stumble across a Linvala or a Spoils, we'll cram that in. Root Grazer might not get a look in here, depending on what else happens. The problem is that white and blue aren't great for mana fixing, so it might have been a wasted pick there. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so Conundrum we're not playing. I think here we're taking the Shepherd of Heroes. It's another cleric. It gains us some life against aggro. Colossus does a bit of work for us, but we still need some wizards and some... well, fewer clerics now, but certainly wizards before it really comes into its own. So I think here we take Shepherd of Heroes over the Ox and the Banneret. Might be wrong. Colossus might have been the pick there. But let's give that a blast. We've only got 2 pieces of removal at the moment, and practice tactics, which I don't want to run. So I'd really like to prioritise that. We've only seen 2 spell lands we can run. This pod knows about double-faced cards. But we're getting somewhere. And we're expecting white to be open to us in pack 3. So if we can, do something crazy, there is still hope. But a Kibera takedown or something would be super sweet. Okay, so here I think we take Living Tempest as the Flash Flyer. Skyclave Relic I picked last time, it did nothing for me. Living Tempest is fine, it's flashy, it comes in, it's evasive. We are currently looking like we're in blue-white, albeit not very partying. A little fewer types. We'll take Tempest here. It's, yeah, way higher than Relic. That's fine. Relic would allow us to play the Root Grazer, but you really want the Root Grazer to drop on too. So I'm going to cut the Root Grazer, thinking that's not likely to come off now. And we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures, and we've still got a pack and a half to go. So we're alright. We need some 2-drop creatures, and we need some removal. And then actually I'm fairly content with the limited package we put together, even if it's not an archetype. That'll do, pig. Okay, we take the Sellsword here because there's nothing else to pick. For us, that's fine. The problem is it's incredibly weak. 3-1, may trade up if you're lucky, usually gets pinged. All of our 2-drops have got 1 toughness, which is a problem. But we're up to a few warriors, a few rogues, a couple of clerics, so we need to get some wizards in if we are going to get any party discounts. So, turns out maybe that Farsight Adept's sort of thing we want, especially if we do end up mono white. Haha. So, you never know, might be eating my words. I usually am. My words are delicious. Let's see what comes towards the end of this pack and then into pack 3. So, Outrider or Grasp is the question, I guess. We're not going to splash the War Leader. We've got a bunch of warriors, so there is the potential of us pivoting into red. We've just left it very late to do so. It's sort of a place where the Skyclave Relic might have made a difference to us. We can either take Grasp as the tempo cantrip or another Outrider. We're going to take the tempo thing, because without removal, tempo is the next best thing. I'm not sure that's good or great even. We take the Mesa Links here and again. I'm particularly happy about it. But we're starting to fill 2-drop slots. You know, they're not great. None of them are great. But creatures on 2 is a limited staple. So let's make it count. And it's the dregs of the pack. At least the dregs are in your colour, right? Rather than completely off colour. So here we have a choice between Banneret, conditional removal, and the Outrider. Because we are so low on removal, I'm reluctantly going to take the conditional removal. It may be a mulligan in our hand. We may not even run it if pack 3 does treat us well. But as things stand, we're sufficiently low on removal that I'm twitchy. And we were rewarded not taking the Banneret in the previous pack because we now take a Banneret. Easy peasy. We'll take Dauntless Unity here as a go-wide payoff. And we'll have to start making some cuts. And we got a third Banneret. Great. So let's see what happens in pack 3. Mono white could happen. Right, so we can have another Jerboa. We could have a Pack Beast to help with the party. A Felidar. Scavenger is nice. And it may not be too late to pivot into white-black. Very late to be pivoting. Especially as we have the pack coming around. But what's better? Double Jerboa is frightening, I guess. So for me, it's between Jerboa, Falconer, Pack Beast, Felidar, or pivoting and going black. It's not. The problem is it's not a signal at this point. So I think I'm going to take the Jerboa. Or do I take the Pack Beast? I'm going to take the Pack Beast for party types for another 2-drop creature. I'm not necessarily happy about this pick, but I feel like it's what the deck is crying out for. So let's start doing some cuts. We're going to cut a Banneret, obviously. So we got a Lull Mage's Domination in the end. The question is, do we take Bubble Snare over it? Given how expensive Lull Mage's Domination is. Bubble Snare is a lot less. I think we'll take Bubble Snare. Gaining control of their creature is even better than tapping it down. The problem is when we're going to be able to play it. No, we'll take Lull Mage's Domination here. We'll go for the expensive spell that does a lot more. Could take a Royal Mage. The question is, what are we picking up? There's a few things to take. So there's a few options here then, isn't there? Construct, Domination, Unity, Striker to some extent, Snare and Royal Mage. Blimey. Let's go big and take Domination because people hate it when their cards get stolen from them. So what do we need to cut? Let's cut the Kite Sail because we've got flyers. Alright, so blue-black would be nice if we did want to splash and had splashable black stuff. It may yet wheel. Roost of Drakes is incredible, and we can't really let it go by, but we need to count up kickers. So let's take Roost and look for kicker cards. 1. A single kicker. So let's see if we can prioritize kicking. Taking the 2/2 Vigilance would be fine, but we can't let a Roost pass. So we're going to take the Roost. Even if we just kick it, it's a 2/2 flyer for 4, with the hope that Unity does a bit more. I mean, it's a hate draft almost because it's so gross. So cuts. We'll cut the kite sail because we've got some flying things in the 3 slot. We're going to take the Farsight Adept here for a wizard with nothing particularly else on colour. Finally got a wizard. We'll cut Smite the Monstrous because it's so conditional. We're going to cut Practice Tactics. So our removal is currently very limited. Apparition, Domination, Oblivion, and some fancy combat tricks if we get them. So let's see if we can snag some kicker cards to make Roost really come off. It's not a great deck at the moment, for sure. Lent on the white. So there's a binding. But there's also a spell land. And a spoils. Blech. So we take the spell land for the ultimate removal. We can pick it up. We can wipe the board. Spoils may wheel. You never know if no one else is in white-blue. And a lot of other people are lower on binding, so maybe even that wheels. So let's take the spell land. Again, that may not be best, but we're effectively running another huge spell. Let's go with it. We have got a bunch of warriors, a few rogues, a wizard, and some clerics. There's another kicker card. So we take that. The Raw Mage is fine, very happy with that. We're going to cut another banneret. We'll keep Allied Assault in the deck because we've now got party stuff going. We might take Grasp out. But we have at least one more card because we've got 3 spell lands. Way less than I'm used to getting. So yeah. We take Jwari Disruption. There was some talk about this on a... There was some talk about this because it's not particularly great in the late game, but it may frig up their early game. We can even get it back with Raw Mage if we want to drop another land later on. We'll take it over Stalker because we've already got a bunch of creatures in the 3-drop slot. So let's take Disruption. I just like running the double lands because it boosts your deck. The 4-drop blue wizard might have been the better choice there. It would have been if Spoils wheels, but it might not. Someone else might be in white-blue. Don't feel like a lot of people at the table are in white, given how much of it's come, but you never know. We've got plenty of creatures, so now what we're really looking at is for removal. If we can snag some late-game removal or card advantage, that will do us nicely. And if people really hate white, the Jabot might wheel. Amazing. I think we take... Oh, the problem with this is we probably want to take Raw Mage in case we can kick it to make Roost do more work. Well, that's a real shame. But we're not looking to landfall, and we are looking to kick with Roost, so we'll take Raw Mage. We'll grumble about it. Grumble, 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 grumble. But we'll take it. It's a 2-drop. All of our 2-drops are very vulnerable, so the more we can drop, the better, as long as they don't Cinderclasm us. But it's another kicker for Roost, so we've got... Oh, and there's another Jabot. So we were rewarded. But we will take Jabot because we're looking go wide rather than Felidar. Well, that's a relief. We take strike, but we don't run it. So kickers, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we will take Felidar here, and we will run it, over-banner it, and the other Dauntless Unity. We've got creatures we'll be able to cut, and we don't want 2 combat tricks, I don't think. So we will take the Felidar there. But we're going to have to start making cuts. Probably Allied Assault will keep Unity for going wide. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 double face lands, so we need to cut 1 more. None of these do anything for us. I think I cut the Mesa Links. And we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We've got a ton of creatures. Kicker-wise, we've got 1, 2, 3. Anything else kicking? We're really low on kickers, but Roost is just nice and powerful. It's that or cut the Roost and the Raw Mages. We're not running Pressure Point. So we're just hoping to win in the air. We've not got a lot of removal, unfortunately. But we'll give it a blast. Yeah, because it's effectively 9-7 with the 10-7 with the tap lands. Yeah, the land base is fine. Okay, so let's import that into Arena. We will convert to wildcards. The wildcards. And we've got a deck. The deck says it is 20 odd creatures, which is quite a lot. 13 basics. 4 non-basics. Oh, that could be a little dodgy, couldn't it? In which case, what are we removing? Let's cut the 2-drop warrior. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 2 slot. Yeah, that's fine. Add in a land. $14, $15, $16, $17, $18. A little more comfortable with that. Okay, that'll do. So I will post how the game plays out, and we'll pray. Okay, thanks for that. Feedback's welcome, because I think that draft was weirdly navigated. Next recording will be the game itself.